a religious state. Then rejection of theocratic state. Not exactly the theocratic state, I would say it's rather a religious identical, a creation of a religious identity state. You find a lot of rational, natural ideas flourished 16th, 17th century. Holyoake invented ideas of secularism in the 17th century. John Locke written the principles to government. Kant, Kelsen, Bentham, all you now study in your syllabus, came into picture, because all came into picture to reject a theocratic states. So their ideals is based on rational, natural principles. In fact, there's a very interesting factor. The first and foremost ideas of secularism, as Honorable Dr. M.H. has pointed out, is in fact invented by Prophet Muhammad in 14 years back, when he entered into an accord with the Medina, with the Jews. That was the first secular document ever written in the history. But Muslim could not understand what is secularism at that time. It's only when 17th century when Holyoake coined the word secularism. That is a dilemma of the Islamic world today. They are not understood what is secularism. In fact, the Prophet is the first in the world to create a written secular constitution. If you read the Medina Accord, that would be available in the Google when you search, you will find the principles of a modern secular constitution in those documents. Now, the period in the 17th century paved for a new world order and creating a new justice system. The Marxian ideals, Engels' ideals, the French Revolution came, and people start dictating the world in rational and natural ideals. Of course, by the time the Islamic world, it has its own collapse because of the fall of Usmanid Caliph, and followed by the kind of conflict happened, the Khawarijes, etc. Of course, this is not a subject for me today. But you find how the world has replaced the rational and natural ideals, because it has rejected a theocratic society, Roman Empire. And today's almost all the world's constitutions having this root of the natural ideals. The rational principles, our own constitutions, it's all based on these ideals, certain extent, I would say. Now, this was the dilemma of the world. When we had in the past a dharma-based society, a dharma, you can't find an equivalent in the world in any other dictionary. Doing a dharma to one's own soul, doing a dharma to the relations of others. The Rajadharma of the kings, or one's own dharma. So keep aside these principles again. The dharma in this tradition, in the great Bharat, and the ideals of the Semitic religions, love and compassion and mercy, and rational ideals of advocates of natural laws principles. So if you look at all this picture in the world, you will get the idea of justice. Perhaps that's what I want to speak to you today. If you look at the letters of the Constitution, you don't find this idea of justice. But the idea of justice, in fact, flows from these principles of law evolved from Greek, Semitic religion, and natural laws principles. And that's where the real problem we face. When you read the letters of law, you don't find the justice. But to understand the justice, you have to go back to the history and find out how it is evolved. Go back to our own traditions, find out how dharma was involved. Go back to the Islamic history and find out how the mercy and compassion was evolved. Go back to the history of the Christianity and find out how law was involved. If you put the convergence of dharma, love, and compassion and mercy in one balance, the world would have been different. But unfortunately, that is not happening in this world. My young brothers and sisters, it is for you to understand how the justice system has evolved in the past, and we are striving for the same. This is a broader, the fundamental aspect of my today's discourse and the talk to you. To understand the justice is not easy. You will not find from the Constitution, you will not find from the law. You will only from the experience of the past, how the society experienced it. The justice is a concept evolved through this period of the history and not created by the law or legislatures. That must be the fundamental understanding for you on the law. This is a broader understanding, a broader and fundamental aspect of the justice system. Now, look at how in the past, the role of lawyers, how they have shaped themselves. The legal profession was in existence during the British period in a formal way. Till 1935, Federal Act came in. Profession was confined to the two streams, civil and criminal litigations. And their role is very limited. But Constitution brought a remarkable change in their outlook. Constitution has a politics, Constitution considered a society, Constitution has an economic ideas. It is the lawyers who stood for the Constitution. It is the lawyers who shaped the Constitution. It is the lawyers who championed the cause of this mass of this country. But for this lawyers' ingenuity, the Constitution would not now reign in the same shape now we have. If you look at the basic structure theory in the Constitution, you don't find anywhere in the Constitution if you read. But it's imported into the principles, German ideals, brought to the Constitution by the ingenuity of the lawyers. That's what I said. The justice system has evolved. Its interpretation of the Constitution, the judge has rendered the justice. Lawyers stood for that, social and political rights, and transformed more as society, a very dynamic and a right-based society, I would say. But the dilemma of the lawyers continue. This is what I really want to speak to you, the dilemma of the lawyers continuing. Where it starts, when perhaps the topic I want to address you. The post-90s witnessed a remarkable change in the world. Especially in India, we felt. We all know the globalization. Creating a market economy. It was visioned by Adam Smith in Wealth of Nations in 1800, but really happened in the post-1950s when GATT was formed, and India we felt in 90s. A new society has been created, a market economy, in where everything is more of a Benthamian ideas of pleasure and hedonism, utilitarian ideas, creating a market economy. What is the impact of the market economy? How do you respond to those challenges? What are the jurisprudence we have to tackle those issues? Lawyers have no answers for the same. The super norms fixed by the international bodies elsewhere would have an impact on the agriculturists in the Wayanad or some other places. How are you going to face those challenges? Lawyers have no answers. The TRIPS, World Intellectual Property Body, dictates certain terms. Multinationals have domination over many drugs, life-saving drugs. The poor man cannot afford to buy those drugs. How to tackle those challenges? What is the jurisprudence for the lawyers to tackle those challenges? I'm not questioning the policies of the government. It's for the government's wisdom what kind of economy we should have. But Constitution has an economics, a fair distribution of